I want to buy a leather sofa. You seem to have an enormous selection here. Where on earth would I start?
I think, to be honest with you, where you would start is we would want to find out what you're going to do with the leather furniture. So maybe the environment it's going into, who's going to be using the furniture. Predominantly sort of at Arighi Bianchi's, we tend to concentrate on two types of leather. One is what we call the natural leather, which is behind us, and the one sort of which is over there is the protected leather. Now, first of all, there isn't a super leather. They offer different qualities.
Right.
So if we look at sort of with this leather here, the natural leather, now with natural leather, what we tend to do is that they tend to use dyes which are translucent, which means that you can still see the character of the leather. So when you're looking at this, I mean, people that really like leather and enthusiastic about leather will go with this. You see all the wrinkle marks, you see the natural marks, the bites, you see the brands. The other thing with these leathers, they're a lot softer to the touch, a lot more supple.
If I got a mark on the natural leather, how would you suggest I clean it off?
We would just automatically, you'd probably go with a damp cloth to start off with. Leather's very much like your skin, so a lot of the marks will sort of slowly fade back out. If you've got a damp cloth blot and then a light damp cloth over, we would like to think that would remove a lot of that mark through there. The reason why you would buy more natural leather is because you would want to see the character. You want it to change as well. With these leathers, they're the ones that when you go into a cafe bar and you see those really comfortable chairs, that's what this leather's about.
So it's the aged...
It's about welcoming, it's the aged look. So they'll constantly change. And that predominantly where you sit as well. The areas that you use more will definitely change through time. So you'll get lighter patches and darker patches. So it is really unique. Now, with the protected colour, because of the colours that they use on there, they're a lot heavier. You don't notice any change. Now, you think, well, why have a protected leather or why have a natural one? Now, we would always say the protected ones are a lot better with kids. You know, it's a family type of leather. Now, people always think about leather as being sort of easy to wipe down, easy to maintain, and this is the leathers that we're sort of used to. Now, simply with those is that they put a much thicker colour on and they put a sealant on top. So when you do spill drinks onto it, it's easy to wipe off, sticky fingers and things like that.
So if I did spill, say, red wine on my protected leather sofa, how would I clean it?
To be honest with you, don't panic, that's the biggest thing. People tend to panic, don't panic. Simply, it has got a protection on there, so all we'd say, go into the kitchen, get yourself a kitchen roll or a dishcloth. Simply just lukewarm water, just rinse out your cloth and just wipe over. And then what I would simply do is get a tea towel, again, remove any sort of excess moisture onto it. And to be honest with you, you'd be very unlucky if there was anything left on that surface there. That is the great thing about that sort of protected leather. Generally then with maintenance of the furniture, we'd recommend that you just moisturise the hide twice a year. Skin, like our own skin, can dry, so with obviously central heating using the furniture, it does take some of the natural moistures out there. So nowadays that they provide care kits that simply, they tend to be in a sachet formula, like a baby wet wipe, just wipe it over the furniture and that's all that you need to do with the leather.
Keep it nice and soft.
Yeah, that's it.
Supple.
And the thing is that people now are so busy, they do not want too much upkeep. There is a coating, so if anything goes onto there, is that you can just go into the kitchen, tea towel, kitchen roll, and just remove off. Now, unfortunately, with the heaviness of colour that they tend to use, you do lose a lot more of the natural features of the leather. Also, putting a coating on there, it also makes the leather a little bit more stiffer and a little bit colder to the touch as well. So,
but much more practical.
Certainly much more practical. The other thing is with the colours that go on there as well, if it was going into a room with really strong light, that would be a lot better to use. The colour fade would be a lot less on that type of product rather than the natural hides, which can be quite quick in this sort of fading. So,
so really for a young family or maybe dogs, dare I say?
Yeah, definitely.
The protected leather is the way.
Yeah. It is. It's a lot, we want, the furniture that we supply here is designed for long life. So you want to put the furniture into the right situation. So if you have got a busy household, the worst thing is to have something that's unmaintainable. So at least with the protected leather, as you say, is that you can just get a quick damp cloth on it on a regular basis, just wipe it over and it'll look as it was brought from the showroom, and I think that's what people want. Now, if you don't have all those constraints and you just want to sort of enjoy that, then that's the natural way it is.
Well, that's why I think it's really nice that you've got the two side by side, because I think we've maybe lost you know, the appeal of something like this, which is natural, and you can see, as you said, the aging and all the different marks.
A lot more of our customers now are going, what I think it's back to basics. They want their leather to look like leather. They want their wood to look like wood. You know, if they wanted something that was manufactured, they certainly wouldn't be looking for this type of product. So with the leather now, a majority of our suites that we sell are in the more natural hides. You know, that's what people want. They want people to walk into a room and say, that is definitely leather. Is it manufactured? You know, that's not what they want. They want it just to look purely like leather. And I think when you get these type of hides, there's no way that someone would ever question, was that real leather? You know, it feels, it smells, it looks like proper leather.
There are other sofas on the market that are a sort of fraction of the price. What would you say about that?
It's difficult without obviously sort of knowing those products. First of all is that I can only talk about our products here. So the products that we have here is that we're confident that they've hit all the legislation that we need to pass. It tends sometimes with some lesser expensive furniture is that when making the furniture they can cut costs. For instance, with this is a European manufacturer, so when they're tanning the leather, so when they're getting it from the source into a machinable format, is that, for instance, tanning requires a lot of water. Now, to take that water out of a river, you can't put it back dirty. So you need to be able to put that water back in a clean. So this manufacturer here complies with all the regulations, which would then make sure that that water goes back to the tolerance. Again, so if you're cutting that out, then obviously that would make sense why you're keeping the costs. With this leather again, is that this particular product, we're using full leather all the way around. We're not using vinyls. You know, it's a product that sometimes is used on the sides and the backs and things like that. We're using the full leather all the way around. Again, that's more expensive to use. A vinyl, as you would appreciate, is going to be a lot less expensive. So again, it's a way that you can you can change.
You don't think that happens actually? You don't realise that sometimes they might cheat and put a different bit on the back
Exactly.
that's not leather?
Exactly, you wouldn't think, but you know, it is way now that this industry, it's, you know, sometimes cost for some people is everything. So to reduce it, you know, that's the ways that they would do it. You know, with us, we're using sort of full leather. Mr. Bianchi, when he's doing his buying, you know, he wants the leather to be sort of all the way around. That's what we sort of pride ourselves on. Again, you know, sort of the leathers, we always use the top hide of the leather. With leather, sometimes it's too thick to machine, so they start splitting it down. So what you've got is the top hide. This is what's all the character is. The next bit that comes off is the split. Again, that can be sort of used on the furniture, but they have to it's more engineered, so, but it does keep the cost down as well.
So you encourage people to sit and curl up or lie?
Yeah, we would encourage anyone to come in. It doesn't matter what job that they're doing. We want them to come into a showroom. This is a showroom to be used. We want people to sit on the furniture. We want them to lie. There's nothing worse than somebody coming in and sitting on the furniture straight, you know, they're stiff.
You're going to be told off.
Exactly. Now, when you get home, you're going to sit there. So if people sit with their shoes off, we encourage people to sit on the furniture with the shoes off. You know, it really is, you know, you're going to take this home, you're going to have this for years and years. It's one of the purchases that people keep for longest. They keep it longer than cars predominantly, so it has to be comfortable. So if you can spend 10, 20 minutes, an hour making sure that the purchase that you do is correct for you, it's got to be there. And we would not frown on anybody ever coming in. You know, we want them to enjoy it. You know, that's what that's what Arighi Bianchi is about. It's a family environment. Well, these sofas are going into a family environment. So again, sort of trying is half of the fun of purchasing as well. So they can try everything out.
And then can you deliver as well?
Delivery, not a problem at all. The nice thing about Arighi Bianchi's is, again, it's a family company. We have our own delivery team, we have our own fleet of lorries as well. So from getting the order into our warehouse, it will be delivered by us. It's a full delivery, full installation service as well. The guys, I've never worked at a place which has so many compliments about the delivery staff, because that's our last port of call, is that we might have done a great job on selling the furniture, you know, people are really happy with it, but if the installation, they're not happy with it, then obviously we've lost everything. So installation to us is very important, so that's why we have our own team of guys. They'll come in, put the furniture into situ for you, you know, that's what Arighi's is about.
And you don't get that everywhere.
The reason why you would come to us is we have expert advice that we give to the customer. We've all been on training courses. We have a depth of knowledge. The time that the company has been in existence, over 150 years. We have an excellent backup service. We also have the means to deliver your furniture in an expert way as well. And that's why that people would come to us and continue to come back to us as well, is that we make the customer experience the best.